Good evening. And welcome to the broadcast. We are live again. Oh baby. Oh baby, 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 baby. We got a good one. We got a good one, baby. Alright. Promo in, promo sin. You know, you hate to see it, but you do what you got to do. Alright? Tonight's jam is pretty good, but it's pretty scuffed too. I'm gonna have to fucking loop it right here. Around there. Oop. About there. Oh baby. Tonight on the broadcast. Well, before we get into that, this is the part of the broadcast where I do some personal discussion. Actually, almost forgot the intro. Welcome back to the late night, date night, stage fright, cage fight. Ain't right. Big news of the day, of course, IRL, the real world. Elon owns Twitter. Jesus Christ. So we've had some wonderful memes, of course, over there on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, yeah. Guess the @ Bam. There it is. If you don't subscriber, alright, hit the sub. If you like this video, hit the like. If you don't like this video, hit the dislike, even though it doesn't fucking do anything. Why is there even a fucking button anymore? Just get rid of it, dude. Either like or do not like. You know what I mean? It's kind of accurate. There we go. Halloween is soon upon us. I gotta go buy some candy. It's gonna be scuffed ass candy because I'm sure all the good shit is gone. Sad for the kids who come to this house. But I'm gonna get a bowl together. Wear one of my masks. I got a bunch of dental work done on Monday, which really needed to happen. That was great. You can see I got fucking clean. Ooh. Beautiful. Fucking, beautiful shit. Good as hell. Feeling good as hell. Shout out to Lizzo. Oh man, it has been a poppin' week on Chainsaw Man Twitter. Wow. Just absolute nonsense. Episode 3 was insane. What? I watched episode 3 4 times the day it came out. I couldn't stop. It was so deranged, dude. Humanity. What is this shit, honestly? Any other news? I started playing some shitty gacha game. It sucks. But it's kind of fun. I've been enjoying that. Memento Mori, if you've heard of it. I don't know, don't play gacha games. Not gonna recommend it. It's fun. I think that's about it. I'm dropping Bleach in the middle. I got about halfway through the series, the original series. Yeah, Hokumundo is a little scuffed as an arc. But even Bleach is kind of scuffed overall, which is also, its charm. It is a scuffed meathead shonen, but, it's fun. It's great. Ichigo is a badass. All the characters are badass, and it's just badasses fighting. That's it. Straight up, that's it. Yeah, they're thieves, and there's a story. It has meaning. And of course, there's all that. Don't act like I'm discounting Bleach. Of course not. Bleach, it's solid. It's just a little scuffed. Everywhere except for the badasses fighting, it's a little scuffed, but it is pretty fun. I had a good time. I'm definitely gonna finish it. We're gonna go all the way through the 1,000-Year Blood War, of course, which is airing now. So maybe once that's all the way finished, we'll go through it. I cannot fucking add another season to my anime schedule, dude. It is way too much. This season is nuts. It is insane. Absolutely bazongas. Bonkers. Freak shit. You know what I mean? Way too much. Way too much. Yeah, what else am I watching? Obviously Chainsaw Man, DIY, Bocchi the Rock. I think Bocchi the Rock dropped today. Akiba Maid War, which is just bizarre. Fucking freak. Fucking pervert show. Amazing. Absolute nonsense. It's so good. There's another one. Oh, of course, the new Gundam is awesome. I'm just gonna go on Crunchyroll now. It's gonna be like, you have OBS open. We're gonna blow your house up. Not watching the new My Hero, man. I kind of dropped My Hero. I started watching the Villainous or whatever show. It sucks. Yeah. Mob Psycho last part of Mob is not that good. Having read the whole comic, it's pretty decent. I'm excited for the end. I'll definitely check out the very, very last part. The kind of denouement is a whack. You know what I mean? The second season of Mob ends on really the peak of the series, and after that, it's alright. It's decent. It's okay. You know what I mean? It is certainly solid as one always is. One coming out with a new show. Let's go. Boom, boom, ba, bam, bam. I think that's all the news I'm gonna talk about. Fuck it. Let's get to the broadcast tonight. Let's get to the show. What are we talking about? Tonight we're talking about, the infamous panel. That's what I went to Twitter for. I wanted to pull up the panel. I don't know if I actually got into this discourse. Let's just search Fujimoto. Alright, alright. This is the controversy, more or less. There were tweets that popped off more. But let me bring it over here. What's this shit? Weird. Oh god. What am I looking at? Help. I'm being swallowed whole. Huh? Oh, not this shit again. Dude, what is going on right now? There we go. This is the controversy that is coming up. I'm gonna scuff the jam. Scuff the jam to go with scuff the bleach, you know what I mean? And warning. It is time for manga spoilers. This is a manga spoiler episode, manga reader episode. I've been waiting for part 2 to really hit, and boy, did Fujimoto bring it. With the controversy, of course. Now, of course, okay, what's the controversy? The controversy is basically MHA fans are still really mad that everybody called Hori a misogynist. It's, I don't know. Kinda is. Probably, right? He's a Japanese dude. I would bet it's like 80%, dude. It's like probably 90% or something like that. He's a dude. He's a dude in the 20th century, 21st century. He is probably a misogynist. The damn funky music for funky panels. Alright, let's get this out of here. Alright, so basically, My Hero Academia fans are upset because Hori puts, you know, Hori's just a fucking horny poster, man. He's just fucking, all his female characters are horny as shit. He's horny for them. He draws them, you know, one-handed lamau. And many female fans of My Hero Academia have voiced their complaints about this because fucking obvious reasons. It's fucking obviously. Yeah, I don't even think Hori himself would, you know, deny the allegations. He ain't never beaten those allegations. He knows. He knows what it is. He knows what he's doing. And, you know, fair is fair. The point stands. Fujimoto is also a fucking freak. We all the fucking CSM fans know that. In the first volume, there were many scenes involving nudity, pivotal scenes in the story involving nudity, which maybe they didn't have to. No, you don't have to do it. No one ever has to get naked, you know what I mean? You can live your whole life with clothes on. You know what I mean? You never have to get naked. So, of course, you could tell a story where no one gets naked. But people do in Chainsaw Man. And women do, in particular. And men don't really that much. It doesn't not happen, but, you know. It happens as well. But certainly women are more frequent. And in particular, I mean, Denji is one horny motherfucker, dude. He's a little horny teenager, man. That is what it is, you know? But somehow, Fujimoto gets away with it. Fujimoto gets away with things that Hori cannot pull off. Somehow. And why? And why? Why and how? You know what I mean? How can he keep getting away with it? Because he just keeps getting away with it. He posts his shit, and there have been some complaints. Let's be real, there have been complaints, but it's not like, it's not like, it's not like, you know, well, maybe superficially, it doesn't seem like there's any difference between Hori and Fujimoto, and it's not like some people don't like it. You know what I mean? Of course, people don't appreciate that in different ways. Some people don't, or do, or don't, or whatever. So we're going to talk about what it is that Fujimoto does that lets him, you know, mostly scrape by. Where many people would be criticizing him, some people don't. From a feminist angle. Right? There's plenty of feminist discourse these days about anime. All sorts of whack-ass patriarchal tropes in the genre of shonen, like the bathhouse scene and the old pervert character. You know, rest in peace, the dirty old bastard. I think DOB is DOB is still alive, right? Maybe not. But you know, that whole vibe, the whole you know, Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein bit. That bit is played out. You know what I mean? People committed to the bit a little too hard. And it's played out in anime too. It's just kind of annoying anyway. As a dude, it's just kind of stupid and annoying. It just feels like vapid. But that's not the case for Fujimoto. Fujimoto's take on this doesn't feel vapid. And that's why it, you know, it works. It fits. Yeah, it's horny. It's horny as hell. It's way hornier than anything Horikoshi does, right? I mean, Fujimoto is off the fucking rails, dude. This guy's insane. The shit he's just trying to publish in mainstream Japanese magazines. I mean, what a fucking freak, honestly. But it fits, and we're going to talk about why it fits and how it fits, and how his approach to sexuality and nudity and expressions of these desires, these human emotions, these moments in life are different, and how that fits into a male model of feminism, a model of male feminism. And special shout out tonight, boom, to Colleen's manga recommendations, a wonderful, very clouded up Anatuber out there. She makes lots of videos about shoujo manga, which is great. Which is fucking good. Alright. What the fuck are you doing? Go read some shoujo. Part 2 tonight. But in particular, I'm not just repping her. Tonight I'm going to be referencing her video on shoujo and the feminine gaze. Because she gives a nice little bite-sized take into the feminine gaze, what it is, how it differs from the masculine gaze, which is really kind of the point. Now, I don't think Fujimoto has a feminine gaze. My boy is a little goblin. a horny little goblin. But he's not full in masculine gaze. He has adopted aspects of Shojo framing and expressions in moments of intimacy, which appear in the story. And so I'm calling it Fujimoto's feminized gaze. You know what I mean? He's not a full-on femboy. He is not feminine, but he has feminized. He's been drinking the water, and it's been turning him gay. You know what I mean? Sad. Fucking devastating. He has a feminized view. A slightly more feminist view. Do I think Fujimoto's a feminist? Probably in a way. And we're going to talk about what that means as well. That's the first half. In the second half, we are going to be looking at why you should read Shojo. Alright? Boom. Read Shojo. Read Shojo. Alright. I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna hit you with one of these. Read Shojo, man. I need to move this. Read Shojo. You hear me? Do you hear me, dude? Read Shojo. Alright? Do it. Read Shojo. It is good. You should read it, and it is good. And we're going to talk about why you should read it, what is good about it, from the perspective of being a dude. Alright? Because Coleen, bless her heart, is a woman. She's target demographic, of course, is going to hit like that. That's what it's made to do. That is how it's constructed. And that's exactly what she talks about in her video. It's fucking amazing. Of course, for dudes, if you are socialized as a male, as a man, in this modern 21st century, it might take a little bit of a little different perspective to get into Shojo and understand what is good about it and how to approach it and to think about it. Alright? Very nice. We're going to talk about that. And that's going to be part 2. So let's get into it. So the main topic tonight is Fujimoto's feminism. What does it mean? How is it implemented? What is his perspective here, and why doesn't he get dunked on like every other shonen author? What is he doing with the horniness in his comic that puts it in that Overton window, that doesn't make it a target of criticism from the feminist stream as much? There's obviously still some motherfuckers will complain about any damn thing. but you know, it's not as much. How does he keep getting away with it? As I mentioned, we are going to be referencing Colleen's wonderful video. Now, in this video, she describes principles of the feminine gaze, and I am going to butcher this because I did not take notes because I'm a loser. Or what I'll call Shojo traits. You know what I mean? There's more. Go watch the fucking video. But the ones I want to hit on is empathy for characters. So the three traits she's talking about, or some of the traits she's talking about, there are more. But again, the big ones I want to focus on are empathy for characters, gazing and being gazed, which is part of the feminine gaze. And the biggest of the big, consent. Consent. Whether it's attempted consent, explicit consent, implicit consent. These are three big hallmarks of differences in my mouse just fell. Fuck me. Differences in how relationships, intimacy, and sexuality are displayed in shonen and shoujo. These are the big hallmarks I'm going to talk about. There are more. We can dig into that more, but it's going to get too long. Technical difficulties. Oh god. Technical difficulties. Give me a moment here. We are back. Right, so these are three hallmarks of how shoujo stories are told. Pretty much regardless of the limited perspective, one way or another, right? Okay, let's talk about how shoujo works. For those of you who don't fucking know, because you don't read shoujo, because you're fucking stupid, all right? For those of you who don't know, because you're dumb as hell, Right? The way shoujo works, baseline, a romance. Again, we're talking about romance. Not all shoujo is romance. Let me just put that in there. But these are, you know, larger themes in shoujo as a genre as a whole because of its feminine gaze and etc. etc. Its intent to connect with a female audience, an audience of women. Put it that way. Alright, so shoujo, you have the young girl. That's why it's called shoujo. She's your main character to connect with a young female audience. Ooh, young women, an audience of young women. Connect with them. Right, and you know, in the way that shonen gives you usually a either limited third or sort of simulated first, right? Manga is never truly first person perspective. Very rarely is actual first person perspective, but limited third or, you know, simulated first, as you might call it, first person perspective, internal monologues and emotions of exactly one character being the main character. That's what I mean. Go away. Distract me. I keep reading it, dude. I wrote something. I keep reading what I wrote, dude. Fucking narcissistic ass. Alright, anyway. The way shoujo stories work, you have that main character, young woman. She is involved in something. It can be supernatural, you know, she gets teleported to another world, classic, or more like slice of life, you know, romance story where she's just going to high school and likes a boy. Absolutely devastating stuff. Completely, you know, heart-wrenching, gut-shaking stuff. Personally, I like the slice of life more. Fantasy shoujo, not my bag, by and large. There's some good ones, definitely some ones that I have enjoyed, but by and large, I don't know, it just ain't hitting with me. I'll talk about that more in the second half. And she's going through, you know, growing up, transitioning from puberty into a young adult, deciding who she is, what she believes in, whether she really likes this boy, what the heck is this boy thinking, etc., etc. Classic stuff. Ooh, what banger material, straight up. And some of you are like, that sounds boring as hell. You're stupid, bro. You're dumb as shit. Shut the fuck up right now. This is fucking fire. Alright, fire base. Right, but in there, boom, bringing it back. Even when you have, in shoujo, even when you have that limited third-person perspective or simulated first-person perspective, you're gonna find out what's the deal with this dude. The dude is gonna have some backstory. It's usually a traumatic backstory because that's dramatic as hell, you know? He's got drama in his life. And then she's gonna, you know, feel for him, empathize with him. You are going to, even though the perspective is not empathetic because you don't see what the dude's emotions are explicitly, you are empathizing with the dude through the main character's understanding and learning and acceptance of the broken past. And this is a huge generalization. There are so many shoujo which just don't use this structure, that they don't follow it, although it is extremely common. If there's a blueprint for shoujo, that's a part of it, right? We had the hero's journey for shonen last week. For shoujo, you know, discovering the trauma, finding the backstory, and gaining empathy through that process. I'll come back to that. Oh, that's staple. That's just how you do it. That's many of the best manga, the greatest, are all that way. You know, Fruits Basket, ultra banger. You have to watch it. You have to watch fucking Fruits Basket. Shut up. Fruits Basket, right? We go through that for all the dudes. Every hot dude who is also an animal, because... Alright? I need big for this. Alright? Big face. Fruits Basket is a furry anime. That's right. A little short video there. Put that one on the YouTube shorts. Alright. All the hot dudes in Fruits Basket who are animals, we go through their story. We learn about their backstory. And then of course the main dude is like omega trauma or whatever, and he gets the most empathy. And he's also the hottest and coolest, by the way. Alright? He's the hottest and coolest, by the way. Cat guy. I don't remember his kill. I forgot, dude. I need to rewatch that shit. It's so good, dude. The new one was amazing. Right, and of course, the main character has empathy for herself, you know, her emotions. And then usually there's some friends, family, and all those characters are portrayed empathetically. Usually dads are a little more, what I call it, stonewalled. They're left less emotionally available than the rest of the characters when there's a dad. But oftentimes, even then, we get a little taste, a little touch of, you know, the dad. He's just trying to be a good dad. God damn. I just thought about some shoujo dads, dude. That shit fucking hits, bro. That shit's hit. Not the insane ones, though. There are some crazy abusive ones as well. Fuck those guys. Shoujo's so fucking good, dude. What a great fucking genre. Alright, so shoujo, tons of empathy for the characters. It's a mainstay. It's an important figure. It is literally the arc of the whole genre. It hinges on empathy. You don't know things of the character. The characters are having miscommunications. There's a rival who hiding her emotions, right? There's the wall of the other, and it is overcome by the self through the process of empathy. Ooh, baby, that's some spicy fucking storytelling. God damn, it's so good. So fucking fire. I love that. Right, so it's crucial. It's a critical component of shoujo as a genre. Brief aside here. Is shoujo a genre, or is it the demographic? Who cares? Anyway, moving on. Whatever, dude. Alright? Sick. Gazing and being gaze. This is sort of a rendering thing, but it's going to be important because what we're talking about with Fujimoto is how he renders stuff, how he presents women and sexuality and sexual desire towards women. Again, not really a shoujo because we're not empathizing baseline with a woman, the young woman. We're empathizing with a young man, denji, protagonist. That's our baseline point. Again, we'll come back to this. Kind of unusual. We actually get an unusual amount of empathy for our main character in a shonen, in Chainsaw Man. We'll come back to that. Gazing and being gazed, though, this is about how characters' desire and sexuality is presented. And we all know that, you know, Fujimoto is the god of drawing women who are just fucking staring into your soul like they're going to rip your throat out. You know what I mean? Every fucking woman who shows up on a Fujimoto page has a look in her eyes like she is going to bite your face off. And it is terrifying and it is horny as hell, dude. This guy's a fucking freak. There is, of course, the now infamous story that Fujimoto told about his taste in women, where he said when he was in college, he got bullied by a young woman, a classmate of his, who saw him getting his bike and, you know, pushed him to the ground and pushed his bike over. And he thought, that was pretty fucking, that was fucking tight, dude. He thought, oh shit. That just got me going, you know? He thought that was pretty good. Fucking weirdo. Alright, but this is if you've read Shojo, again, go read Shojo. 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 Fucking weirdos. Good Shojo, you've definitely seen pages, panels, where a hot dude, like, you know, in shonen, we have the big splash page where some crazy explosion or ultimate move or power-up reveal kind of shit is popping off. Some big, you know, like cinematic event, right? Blockbuster type grandiose image is portrayed, and that's the splash page. For Shojo, splash page is a hot dude's face. And damn, bro, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Actually, splash pages are usually like double page spreads are rarer than they are in shonen, and they're usually kisses or fucking, something like that. That's the double page spread right there. Ooh, making out or fucking. That's what. Whew. Yes. Yes. So fucking good. Whew. I gotta go read some shoujo after this stream. I'm getting worked up. Right, but big splash pages, hot dude's face. Next page, protagonist's face. Or rival's face if it's a rival arc. You know what I mean? The dude, he's being hot, and all the ladies are looking at his big ass, hot ass face and being like, oh shit. Right, and as, again, all of this taken from Colleen's fantastic video, which I think I lost. Yeah, I fucking forgot. I lost it, bro. Colleen's fantastic video. I know, Shojo, the feminine gaze, and the romance therein. You know, she notes that this feminine gaze, this aspect of the feminine gaze where you are looking and being looked at, right? Where the gazer becomes gazed. Whoa. Which is sort of a technical, cinematic, semiotics kind of thing. But you got a dude's big face, and then you got the main character's big face. And you're sort of bouncing back and forth between the perspective of both of these characters who are staring at each other. And that gives you this kind of synergy between the fundamental empathy in the storytelling and the framing of the panels on the page. Right? The display of the interaction between these characters is focused on the gaze, what they see, and the reciprocity of that. They're both looking at each other. You're seeing from both perspectives. You're getting full empathy for the couple, not just the character. And so you are becoming their relationship, not just one of them. You're becoming both of them. And so, now I am the ship. I become the ship. I do not observe the ship. I am the ship. And together we're sailing, except if it's the rival arc, then you get then you cry. Right? Then you cry. Because, you felt empathy with the rival and she don't. And that's sad, and so you cry a little bit. But not that much, because she was probably fucking bitch for a while. But, you probably still cry a little bit. And then the third one, I hope I don't need to explain too much. And that was about the gazing and being gazed. We're going to look at that in Fujimoto's work. But it's also a mainstay of Shojo, and just an important part of the feminine gaze in general, even beyond manga, where it gets used a lot in many banger shoujos, pretty much all of them. I don't hope I don't have to fucking explain this shit. Oh, you should know what it means. If you know what it means, consent means you ask people before you do sexy things with them. And many people are like, oh, it's not sexy if you ask. Well, you don't have to fucking, literally ask out loud, although that is best practice when you're, going all the fucking way. But, just in general, if you're having physical contact, ease into it. And if the person pulls away and rejects it, physically, you go in and they pull away from you, it's done. That's the moment of consent. You're seeing what's up. It's a no. Nah. You're done. Don't force it. And, right? And then, of course, there's explicit consent, things like that. The big problem that Shonen has with all of its fucking weird pervert characters is that they do shit without consent. That's the big issue. Mineta is a little fucking weirdo who wants to, check chicks out and touch their tits and stuff and get with lots of girls. But then when he actually interacts with women, he doesn't like it because he has to fucking interact with them as real human beings, and issues of consent arise. So, and there's that. Alright, so these are big pillars of shoujo. Shout out again to Colleen's manga recommendations for that. Fantastic video, which goes into way more detail about it, but again, I do want to talk about Chainsaw Man a little bit, and not to just be talking about shoujo the whole time. Man, this part is such a banger, dude. So, Fujimoto. Is he just writing a shoujo? No. Alright, let's talk about now all the things in Chainsaw Man that are not shoujo. Because it is not a shoujo. It is a shonen, very obviously, first of all. Really sort of full frontal kind of explicit nudity. That is very much a male gaze type beat. Dudes are horny, alright? It is what it is. Now, the truth of the matter is that there's plenty of manga for women out there, plenty of josei smut. Boom! Hoo-wee! With nudity and stuff in it, and women enjoy. Those steamy stuff, those sexual stories, the romance, the adult romance fiction. Ooh. Fiction and manga, they're both quite popular as mediums of those things. Some great ones, too. Oof. Some just fantastic stories in that genre as well. No doubt. No question. And so, it doesn't necessarily disqualify Fujimoto for being, having more of a feminine gaze there, just because he's putting nudity on the screen. But it is certainly a big hallmark of fiction aimed at young men, which Chainsaw Man is. So there's that. There's objectification of women, which occurs in the story. Women are objectified in the story, but interestingly, this is a big point here. Let me put some base text up here. Women in Chainsaw Chainsaw Man are objectified by denji, not by the story. This is kind of the crucial point. The denji is a lowly, abused, dejected freak who has never known any love or happiness, and has really no concept of how to interact with other humans in an acceptable way, because he has never received the same in kind. And boy, he just objectifies the shit out of women. Now, it's actually not that bad. It's kind of an interesting point Fujimoto is making with the character. Or yes, Denji is a horny and confused kind of dude, but he's not really misogynistic. In some sense, he hasn't been socialized properly, and so to him, the idea of the hierarchy between men and women and the sort of social dynamics of that relationship that are ingrained in you through your upbringing. It never really happened, right? And everyone's like, oh, he was hanging out with the Yakuza. Yeah, but they didn't fucking teach him anything. They didn't fucking sit him down for lessons and say, all right, kid, here's how you count. Women are trash. Own them like objects. No. He is just fucking, he had no idea. He was just being used as a devil hunter, as a kid. And before that, well, I'm not going to go too spoilers because that's pretty late in the comic story, but fuck it, it's a comic story. Before that, he was just being abused by his insane dad who killed his mom. Wow. Absolute freak horror shit. Obviously, probably not a fan of dudes and father type characters, but also has no real sense of interaction with women through his mother. And like really just no normal human interaction at all. But he still has that kind of, teenage boy horniness and a vague sense of what normalcy looks like with like having a girlfriend and going on dates and things like that he's picked up from being alive, but not really the whole socialization of viewing men as dominant over women that everyone receives in primary education from their dickhead dude teachers that they have, or their weird conservative woman teachers that they have. So Denji is objectifying women sort of from this naive point of view, where he's sort of just default objectifying anybody. He doesn't have empathy. He doesn't really understand empathy baseline. And so his immediate interaction with other people is just, what do they look like? How do they relate to me? What is their relationship to me in material terms? Think of them as an object, right? Getting along with Aki because he has to, because it's his job. There's no like, who's this Aki guy? I want to learn more about him. It's like, no, this guy, I have to hang out with him. That's it. Right? And of course with Power, he wants to touch Power's tits because he's a horny dude. He's a horny dude. He wants to touch the tits. Power's got tits. Boom. He's a fucking genius, man. He puts it all together. Woo! Truly way too smart. Now you're thinking with Portals, Denji. He wants to do it. And he does eventually. Ooh. But, crucially, I should duplicate this. Crucially, like we were talking about with Elementary Shojo, he gets consent. This is a consensual deal. This is a deal that Power and him make. Power says, hey, I'll let you squeeze him if you get my cat back. What a classic trade between the genders, just working together to get things done. Women, help me take care of my pet. Dude, let me squeeze your tits. Boom. That's teamwork, baby. Right? It's consensual. And so there's that. But also in the process of Denji, motivated by his horniness, he's hooked in. He's linked up with Power by his horniness. Classic dude, just gets fucking distracted, caught up by a cute girl. Whew. I've been there, brother. Just like me, for real. So we're empathetic with Denji's objectification of Power, right? His consideration of her as, an attractive girl with tits. A cute girl with tits. Right? That's his objectified view of her. But through the process of working with her and then going to save the cat from the bat devil, Denji learns more about her, and he establishes a channel of empathy with her through their mutual concern for and the loss of the pets that they kept, right? Power has her cat. Denji had Pochita. Pochita is now a part of Denji, giving him chainsaw powers, and Power has lost her cat Meowie to the Bat Devil. But terrible shit. Sucks. And Denji learns about that and comes to understand that and thinks about, Power's emotions in a moment where they lock eyes. Now, let's see if I can pull this up in the comic real quick. There's a moment where they lock eyes, right here. I'm gonna log in. I do. Don't mind me. Always should try and get home a little earlier to get this all set up, but I did not have time today. Whew, that shift was long as hell, but it was good as fuck. Alright, where are we at? It's around like 8? 7. Dude, Viz needs a previous chapter button. What the hell is this? This page. Boom. Now this is not as this is not as emphasized as it would be in Shojo. It's more emphasized in the adaptation currently. And this fuck it. I'm looking the other way, but I'm looking at it on screen, right? At this page here, we see Denji looking at Power. Power is looking at Denji. This back and forth here, this is some shoujo ass shit. And the bat is looking at them all. But we don't see it from the bat's perspective because he's a fucking dick. We don't need to empathize with this dumbass, alright? We are empathizing with them. Denji looking at Power. Power looking down at Denji. And finally, boom. Denji's look at Power. So we briefly get that moment of empathy with Power as the viewer. After, we got our whole fucking backstory before this, right? This is the whole backstory. And we get her gaze at the cat, right? We get into her perspective for the first time here. So we're being led into empathy by Fujimoto because he's a fucking god, alright? That's why. Because he knows exactly what to do. And so Denji in that moment, yeah, he's horny, still wants to touch the tits. I mean, that's what the whole fucking deal is about. He's not, forgetting about his objectified purpose, his objectified relationship with this other individual, his instrumentalized version of power to, Eva reference also, that whole field of philosophy whose name I fucking forgot, the human instrumentality, idea of human instrumentality. But his objectified version of power, his consideration of her as a body with tits and a cute face, changes. He goes from this objectified version to this empathetic version, empathetic understanding. So we gain understanding as the reader through Fujimoto's going through the backstory and through the change in perspective that he brings to the storytelling to put us in to Power's past and emotions. And but we're being led to that point by Denji's change in understanding. So Denji was objectifying this woman that he met, and Power's like really the first woman that he truly interacts with like that. But then it changes, Suddenly he gains empathy. He feels her loss of her pet, which is something he just went through. And so he gains, further, a deeper relationship with Power and feels for her and empathizes for her and thinks about what her emotions are. Really just briefly. He just thinks, how did she feel watching her cat get eaten? Because I felt really sad when I thought Pochita disappeared one time. Right? And it actually goes both ways, because Power kind of empathizes with Denji a little bit, which is a part of how this whole thing works. That's that reciprocal gaze, gazing and being gazed, the symmetry, the reciprocity between the characters, which also relates to the idea of consent. Boom, blam, blam. It all fits together into this wonderful Shojo style building of relationships between characters. Right? And Fujimoto does this all the time. Every fucking character relationship in that story is built like this. And so that's going to bring us to the talk of the town. The panel of the day. The page of the week. Here we've got a 2-page, not exactly a spread, but a 2-page, 3-panel sequence. Fujimoto busts out. Climax of Asa's first character arc here. She uses her war devil powers. Yoru does not do it. Yoru? No. Asa. Asa is the one who fucking decides to use her power to make a weapon. And the weapon and the thing she chooses is her school uniform, which, as was shown in the backstory portion, amazing fucking chapter of part 2, as was shown in the backstory portion of Asa, she received her school uniform as a gift from her mother, a point of connection with her mother who died in a horrible devil based tragedy. And so she fucking hates devils. But here she is using her devil powers. Boom. So this, of course, is a little different. Because like I said, in the first part, we have this dynamic. So women in Chainsaw Man are objectified by Denji, not the story. Generally speaking, we're stuck in Denji's world. We're getting through Denji's eyes, and the objectification that occurs is a part of his story development, and he does it less over time, and he learns to have more empathy. And again, the mechanics of Fujimoto presenting that empathy. Let me get this shit off the fucking screen. The mechanics of the story providing more empathy for the women in the story are the same as in Shojo. But Fujimoto is just literally doing what Shojo does because he reads Shojo because he likes comics, and they're good fucking comics. And since Shojo is good comics, you should read Shojo. Since Shojo is good comics, you should read Shojo. If you like comics, Shojo is good. It's good comics. Go read Shojo. Shut the fuck up. Stop posting. Stop commenting. Stop arguing. Why are you arguing, bro? Go away. Stop arguing. We'll read Shojo, right? But of course, this women being objectified by Denji is not true in part 2. So, if this is a moment of objectification, then it's objectification, sexualization, and things like that. If this is a moment of that in the story, which I would say you could read it that way. I think if you could take it that way, there's nothing particular in the story that stops it from happening. Right? Stops it from being the way. That prevents that interpretation. There's no obstruction to that interpretation, as we would say in mathematics. You could do that. And so, if that's what's going on here, then it is happening by the story. We, the viewer, are being drawn into a moment of objectification. We are being made to objectify this character. Now, I don't think that is what is going on here. In particular, because of the framing of this panel, it is a full body shot, of course, and it is the nudity in the scene is a point of impact, and Asa is not an adult. She ain't. So we're treading into dangerous territory, although common, manga L here. Minor nudity on display. So common manga L, although also extremely common just in storytelling in general. It happens in fucking, high school, American high school dramas all the time. Characters that are teenage girls being in their underwear. Hey, it is what it is. But of course, I don't know, if you've been a teenager and you weren't a fucking loser, then, the average age of losing virginity is not above the age of informed consent. Now, that's not a bunch of pedophiles. It's a bunch of teenagers being horny and doing their thing with each other. Right? Everybody there is underage. Whoo! That is a problem. First of all, if you continue reading the chapter, just getting back to the scene at hand, if you continue reading the chapter, we don't dwell on this. We don't dwell on the nudity. It is a moment of impact in Asa's character story, but it's not like we're then given a fucking 360 whatever, all the fucking weird shit with the tit shots and that, and the crotch focus panels, all these horny ass mangas, which I am not strictly opposed to, but yeah, they still whack as fuck. I can see the room for complaint and criticism very easily, and sometimes it bothers me as well. It's overdone and ham-fisted most of the time. It's not very well executed. There are some that do alright. They don't overblow it. It is done, but not too much. Just if you don't fucking like it, don't read it. It's fine. Some of it goes way too far. A lot of it goes fucking way too far, and is inserted in the middle of stories that you shouldn't. What the fuck was it doing in there, man? You didn't have to do all that. But this moment isn't really like that. It's not like Asa was just chilling, and she's like, you know what? Fuck this uniform. No, this is a huge moment. She is turning a, precious item that she has into a weapon using her powers, using her abilities. And it's a nice little narrative point, because if you're following along, you know that Asa has this connection with her school uniform. So you think, well, what is she going to use as a weapon? Well, there's only one thing she can use, her school uniform. And if she does that, this is what happens. And this is an interesting point that I've brought up before with other people about Kill la Kill in particular. All the Kill la Kill is fucking just drenched in the male gaze, of course. It's all male gaze. Although many of the directors and the artists on the series were women, that doesn't preclude it from being male gaze. As Coleen noted in, again, her fantastic video. Go fucking watch it. And read Shojo. Let me get back on track here. But in reference to Kill la Kill, although it's very male gaze oriented, nudity as a moment of power and vulnerability is something that's been used with male characters for like ever. It's very common for dudes to just take off their shirt and they're ripped. You know what I mean? And that's a moment of vulnerability and honesty. And when dudes are fighting and they do it, it's like they're powering up. They rip their shirt off and you're like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have fucked with this dude. He's ripped. He takes off his shirt and he's ripped. Harry takes off his shirt and he's ripped, dude. And that is a moment of personal vulnerability. The symbolism between nudity and personal vulnerability is obvious. That happens in Shojo a lot, right? Like the ultimate vulnerability and connection of the characters and the moment of mutual understanding happens when they're exposed. And here, Asa is exposing herself by using her using her school uniform. Words. Using her school uniform as a weapon. And she's exposing herself to Yuko. Right? And in that exchange before, we are actually, again, getting that back and forth. Before that page in the comic, Yuko and Asa are going back and forth, and we are going back and forth between their perspectives. Right? So we are being drawn into an observer position of Asa, but not from some like neutral perspective where we're all, we're ready for the drop to get horny with it. No, we're watching her as if we are Yuko, and we're getting that empathy, and then bam, the big moment, the big reveal with the sword and the uniform and everything, and it's fucking badass. And then after that, there's no sort of like shonen-esque dwelling on her body or anything like that. No further, just focus on the body as object, even though it is displayed there for a moment. Rather, Asa is fighting and using her powers and interacting with a new character that everyone fucking will not stop drawing fan art of, because when Fujimoto gives us a character, we have to fucking cling to them with our teeth, When there's a new character and you're a Chainsaw Man fan, you just like, please, 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 dude, even though these are like the Horsemen or something. That's the theory. This is one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, so Chainsaw Man's gonna kick all their ass, dude. Or he's gonna team up with them to form some kind of amazing super harem crazy group and kill everybody where they all sit on him. That'd be awesome. And they battle space aliens, just fucking fuck it, dude. But no, of course, Fujimoto's not gonna do that. It's gonna be horrific. We're all gonna have our hearts torn into pieces by this freak, this fucking little goblin man. Fucking Fujimoto. So we're taking everything we can get, man. Like we're holding on for dear life. Please, Fujimoto, please. Interestingly, though, this is an interesting one. I just thought of this. Brief aside, though, while we get to the scuffed part of this jam. The fucking slap bass, fucking goofy. We have spoilers again. Spoilers. This is all fucking spoilers for the comic, dude. Manga readers only tonight. But Denji and Aki go through the moment where Denji has to kill his close friend because of evil devil shit, and now Asa is going through the same thing. And I wonder if we'll actually see a moment of connection and empathy between them based on these parallel storylines. Probably not. I bet what we're going to continue to have is Denji completely failing to communicate anything to anyone and just being a fucking weirdo, and Asa keeps hating him because he won't shut the fuck up about Chainsaw Man. Anyway, aside over. Point is, you know, Asa is fighting her friend, going through these emotions, and this scene is a part of that sequence. So again, it is empathetic. There's a lot of empathy. Now there is a sort of aspect of non-consensuality where we're, you know, looking at a character nude, even though they didn't let us do it. And that's sort of always a weird thing with art. But of course, they ain't real. So yeah, that's sort of all there is to say about it with fiction. Regards to fiction, they ain't real. So, you know, even if you wanted to ask them, you can't. All right, and that's sort of like a meta argument, or an argument from a meta perspective about not putting nudity in art at all, which is a perspective you can have, sort of for that reason. But most people don't. Most people understand, yeah, okay, it's whack. Don't be a voyeur and, you know, non-consensually look at people nude IRL. But, yeah, it's fake, so it is what it is, alright? Most people have that sort of basic understanding of fictional nudity. I mean, this isn't even full nudity, which there has been in Chainsaw Man. Some real fucking wild shit has occurred. But I think that's a good point to break here and end with our first discussion of Fujimoto's feminism. I didn't really get to his point of view as a model of male feminism. Maybe I'll do that after this. I kind of did hit on read Shojo a lot, so read Shojo. We'll come back to it. We'll try and get it all in the second half here. I'm gonna take a break, take my mask off, but you ain't gonna see it. And throw up another piece of chain of fan art here. We have about half an hour left in this run through of the jam. So I'm just gonna let it play. Not all the way through, but I'm just gonna go use the bathroom, get some water, take my mask off, think a little bit more about what I want to say in the second half, and then we will be back. We're back. We are back at it. Like a black adder. What are we back at? We'll kind of do these things together because I figured out a way to synthesize them on the break. Our next topic of the night is Fujimoto's model of male This is our next fucking topic of the night. Fujimoto's model of male feminism. What's it about? How does he do it? We talked a little bit about how he gets away with it in the first half. How you just put naked women, hot chicks, horny stuff in his comics and not get canceled. How does he do it? He does it with empathy. He does it with consent. And he hits those notes of the feminine gaze that, you know, tie it all together into an artistic package. But from a larger view, from a higher perspective, this congeals not just into an artistic style, which it does, a great style. Did you know? I think Fujimoto's pretty fucking good. He's on to something. Just my opinion. But he's on to more than just a work of art. Art is more than just art. It is other stuff too. It is a secret third thing. In fact. And so from the feminist perspective, what is Fujimoto's contribution? Because he's doing something. He is not giving you toxic masculinity here, which is reflected in Chainsaw Man's relative popularity with women. Plenty of women fans. Plenty of women in the community who are just, they're straight, but they're just horny for the female characters. Because, well, that's kind of an interesting point. Interesting point. How does Fujimoto turn all these ladies gay? Well, he's giving them the feminine gaze from a masculine point of view. Denji is falling in love with all these women, or learning to love all these women. I mean, not falling in love because that's so romantic, but right, he's learning to love power as a sister. He falls in love with Reze, and he, you know, has this. I don't know how to say this. He has like this the bond of a child to the mother with Makima. He's learning to love all of these women as different forms of relationship with women. And so, you know, women who read in the comic, they go through that same thing. They emphasize with Denji. And, you know, it fucking works. And since Fujimoto executes these aspects of the feminine gaze in his, just being a fucking... He's just read too much fucking comics, including Shojo, I have to imagine. Why would he not? The dude probably obviously has. of course, he has. In that process of bringing elements of the feminine gaze there, it resonates more with the women in the audience. They find that semiotic connection to their gendered experience there in Fujimoto's work, and so all the women who are Chainsaw Man fans are gay now. It is what it is. If you are a woman and you read Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man's gonna turn you gay. I don't know what else to say. It is what it is, alright? It made every, it got every guy who read it into BDSM. That's sort of the other. Every dude who reads Chainsaw Man now just wants a dommy mommy. And every woman who reads Chainsaw Man is gay. That's how it goes. I'm sorry to say. You should still read it. You have to read it. I'm just letting you know what's gonna happen. On that solemn note, fucking ridiculous. Yes. Oh yes, Bleach, by the way. As I said, I'm taking a pause on Bleach. Brief aside. I'm taking a pause on Bleach, but I love this fucking part of the soundtrack, which is why I had to put it in my jam, and I fucked it up. It's so scuffed, dude. Oh well. Life is scuffed, and so the jam is scuffed, because I am scuffed. We live in hell, dude. Alright? It is what it is. Back on track, right? Fujimoto turning everybody gay. Turn all the ladies gays, turn all the guys into BDSM finishes. Good work, Fuji. So there's this sort of dual mode that Fujimoto has, a kind of femboy energy, if you will, where he is making this story about guys, Denji's perspective, a masculine perspective, horny for women. The story is horny for women, because Fujimoto, horny for women, he's a dude, horny for women, it is what it is, that's how it is. Not gonna sugarcoat it. Gonna be straight up about it. You know what it is at this point, and if you don't know what it is, I'm letting you know. That's how it goes. But he has this feminized version of that, where he is recognizing the aesthetics of femininity and also the humanity of women in his story. These women are flawed and problematic and empathetic and struggling, and they have their goals and they work towards those goals and they try and they fail and they succeed and they live and they die. And it's beautiful and it's tragic, and all of the women are way too hot, and you fall in love with all of them because Fujimoto is just a fucking evil satanic freak who just wants to kill all the joy in your life and he does, and it's the best thing that could possibly happen. So all of this congeals into like an artistic version of feminism. And it's a feminism that is rooted in being a dude. It is an understanding of women, it is a perspective on women. Right? And so in that sense, it is like, in like a technical, academic sense, okay, dude, thank you, Windows Update. You fucking love that. Fuck you. Update available. Really? Wow, thanks for letting me know, dude. I'm glad you fucking brought that up in the middle. It congeals into a perspective on women and their, you know, existence and what it means not to be a woman, not feminism from a woman's perspective, but what women mean to men. A male feminism, in that sense, a theory about women, a perspective on women from perspective of a man. And in a sort of technical sense, this also applies to things like what Andrew Tate says. Andrew Tate has a version of feminism, which most people wouldn't like the use of the terminology. That from like an academic perspective, he is presenting a perspective on women that is a version of feminism. It's just misogynistic. It's just misogynistic feminism, which is a core part of the patriarchy. The patriarchy has a version of feminism in it, which is all about, you know, being a mother, getting support from men, not having autonomy, you know, not having any money, being property. It is a concern and a theory of women that, you know, sucks for women. That does not consider their perspective or their existence with empathy at all. It's a rotten feminism, so to speak. It sucks ass. Alright, fuck that. Fujimoto's male feminism is not that way. And again, it has a lot of these Shojo characteristics, these female gaze characteristics. But really, what it comes down to is Denji's development in his relationships with these women. Right? He comes to understand and empathize with the women and learn about them. That is how the process develops. In other fucking romantic stories sort of centered about romance, which Chainsaw Man is very much centered around romance. You can call it a romance comic to a solid degree. In other fucking shonen focused around romance, where the story centers on romantic relationships, or relationships of love, and these kind of intimate interactions between characters. In other stories like that, there are these, you know, moments of empathy, but really sort of the development of relationships between characters is not in this shoujo dimension. It's all physical. The dude's trying to fuck Kazuya, to mention the cursed fucking IP that is Rent-A-Girlfriend. Jesus Christ. Alright, I read that trash, dude. That shit fucking so stupid, so fucking dumb. But Kazuya, he wants to fuck. He's objectifying all these women. All these women are objectified by the story. The author, he just horny posts on his Twitter. He's just a horny poster. And you know what? In some sense, I think that's fine. There's obviously problems with it. I think the problems with it are more social than its just existence at all, but that's a point of debate. Of course, that's just my take. It's not necessarily correct to take. It is the take I hold on art and portrayals of things in general. But you know, I'm not gonna have that whole fucking debate. That's a whole different thing, and it's really just a matter of your own moral system and beliefs about art and society and the relationships between them and all things like that. So there's a whole fucking other topic which I might talk about sometime, but not tonight because I want to focus on feminism, specifically Fujimoto's feminism. So what is this all congealing to? Well, again, rather than the rent-a-girl style relationship progress where there's like kisses and hugs and physicality and it's all very body focused and sex focused and sex crazed. No, crazed is kind of fucking you know. Yeah, fuck it. That story sucks anyway. Who cares? Fuck him. Dude, fucking horny posts all the time, right? It is what it is. He's down infinite, bro. Instead of this progress in relationships that comes through the physicality, which is really the, I don't want to say focus in shonen, but it is a significant part of the progress in shonen, right? It is sort of the benchmark for the progress in the relationship. And that happens in Shojo too. It's not only shonen. Shojo does that too. Holding hands and kissing and stuff. The kisses are a big deal. The falcon is a big deal. You know, it could be a part of it too, but really, I mean, that's kind of the arc of the story in Shojo. Whereas the arc of the story in Shojo is more so focused on the understandings between the characters and their communication and their empathy. And then the physical intimacy sort of comes along with that. Whereas in shonen, it's sort of the main drive is he's trying to hit that. And then in his desire to hit that, there are moments of empathy. You know what I mean? But not even necessarily empathy, just like moments of character interaction. You know, how much empathy you get for the women in the story is really a measure of the fucking quality of the shonen romance. The better ones have more empathy, and so you, as the reader, develop a better relationship with the object of desire here, right? And you're fucking horny little boy, so you also get your horny moments, right? Get your little ecchi going, right? Right? It is what it is. With Fujimoto, it's not really that way. Fujimoto, the primary development of a denji relationship to the women is all through this empathy. And there's these, you know, there's these ecchi moments. You know, he rubs ours tits. You know, there's the whole damn sequence with Reze. But then, you know, and there's some freak shit with Makima. Just grooming. There's just some grooming that happens. Also with Himeno. Because Lamau, Himeno's the fuck is he? Himeno. What a great character, man. Sir. Right? But even with Himeno's arc, which is like the shortest of all of them, it starts horny as hell. And just insane, right? Fucking puke in your mouth, make out. Whoo! Jesus. What a freak. Fujimoto is an absolute menace. And then Himo tries to fuck Denji, bro. She's just out here trying to groom Denji, which does not happen. They don't do it, all right? Which you know, Denji's just too confused. Honestly, he probably would've. I don't know. Whatever. We don't know. Doesn't happen. But even that short arc, you know, we start with the horniness. That's the connection with the woman, and then you know, he goes back to her place. They don't fuck, but then they talk, and there's this moment of empathy where Himeno's like, I'm trying to get with Aki, you're trying to get with Makima. We're in a similar situation, and so the relationship changes. And so Denji, the progress of his relationship is not through the horniness. The progress of the relationship is through the empathy, which is, again, the Shojo model of relational development between characters. And a much richer way of developing characters in the story dynamically. It's faster. You get this lightning paced empathy and connection and development of the character. Ooh, it's fucking good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And that's how fucking, by the way, that's how the real fucking world is, right? That's how things work with actual relationships. And this is a big deal with Shojo. I'm gonna fucking go big face for this. Big face time. Move this. Big face time. Relationships in Shojo work like actual relationships. Relationships in Shoujin are not real. If your relationships are working like fucking ecchi shonen manga, you're fucked up, bro. You're fucking up. That's all I gotta say. It's not like that, dude. You don't fucking, like, peep on a woman and then, you know, stalk her and then date her. No, dude. She's gonna call the cops on you and hate you forever. Alright? That shit's fucked up. Never do that. If you do that, you're a goofball. Alright? It's fiction. Alright? Is it okay to write it in fiction? Probably fucking not. It's kind of creepy as shit. But it's fake. I guess. Whatever. It's a fantasy. It's like porn. It's unrealistic. It's a fantasy. There are problems with porn too. But hey, alright? At the end of the day, there's a lot more work to do for feminism than trying to ban porn. Greater. A lot more significant work. And arguably that doesn't even help the issue because, you know, whose porn is going to get banned first? Think the dude's porn is going to get banned first? No, it's going to be gay people's porn and then women's porn. You know what I mean? It's fucking how it always goes. I start banning romance novels. Like, this is fucking smut. This is improper. Corrupting our youth. Right? And the dudes are just going to keep doing whatever the fuck they want. It works. Regardless. That's a whole other story. Yeah, not gonna get into that whole discussion. There's a little taste of my take on it. Anyone want to debate me on it? That'd be fun. We should do that. It's problematic as hell. It's fake. Don't fucking act like a shonen protagonist, alright? If you do, you are a fucking creep-ass weirdo, okay? It's not a model of how relationships actually work. Chainsaw Man shows you dudes out there a perspective of how relationships actually develop, and it does it by using models of relational development between characters from Shojo. Fujimoto builds this version of male feminism focused around empathizing with women, connecting with women as people, finding things not that you like about them, but that are the same with you. You, the dude, and the woman who you are horny for, you are the same in ways. You are both humans. There is a human connection, a fundamental humanity that connects the two of you. And that is how the relationship is formed. That is where the development of the relationship comes from. That is what takes the horniness in your brain into a connection that you can translate into a relationship. And that relationship might not end up being a horny relationship. I have plenty of women that I was crushed on a little bit, and we sat down and we talked, and it wasn't really like that. But they're close friends of mine. They're like a power to me. They're like a sibling, someone I care about, who I'm rooting for, who I would help if they needed it. And yeah, I still think they're cute, but it's just not like that. It's just not like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I still remember the attraction. I get it. It's still kind of there, but the relationship is not like that. Right? I don't have any relationships with women that are like Makima. Whew. Thankfully. I think the relationship with my mother is pretty good. Pretty good overall. Problems at times. Been a little stressful this last year with everything going on in my life. But overall good. Okay, not like that at all. Okay? That one's exceptional. That's a whole other thing. Makima as a character, that's an episode by itself. Straight up. You know what I mean? I'll do a series about every character at some point. It'll be fucking awesome. Excited for that. Right? But here is Fujimoto's feminism. Here I'm getting to it. I'm actually getting around to it. I'm getting sidetracked because I'm talking about Chainsaw Man. And I just want to talk about every fucking thing that is possible to talk about Chainsaw Man all the time. There's so fucking much in here, dude. It's insane. This is my dissertation on Chainsaw Man. It's going to take me 20 hours to do it, alright? The worst dissertation ever. Fujimoto's feminism is based in empathy with women. Boom. Fujimoto's version of feminism that appears in Chainsaw Man is about learning to empathize with women you are attracted to and the developing relationships with them. And those relationships will change as you empathize. And that's the perspective he's giving from men to women. And as a man looking at women, he's conveying this process of developing relationships through Denji. Denji is going through this process. We empathize with Denji. We are going through that process of empathizing with these women through Denji's perspective. He actually flips that in part 2, where now the baseline empathetic perspective, the place we sit as readers, is in a young woman's mind. Right? He's gone full Shojo, dude. He's got a full Shojo. We're just awesome now. It's awesome. And it just works. Which is insane. I wanna emphasize that. A guy, a man, a heterosexual dude, admittedly a freak. A little freaky goblin weirdo creeper. Not in a sexual sense, in a human sense. A little devilish goblin boy. Like Fujimoto. Yo, men do not write women well as a rule. And whenever you have like a main character who's a woman in a story written by men, there are a lot of like weird things. There's like focuses on periods, which is like, yeah, it's a thing that happens with women, and women write about it too. But it's like every fucking dude who's writing a woman's gotta write about how she has her period. And it's like, yeah, but you don't write about all your dudes, I don't know, shaving their balls or whatever. What? Yeah, you can mention it because it's real and it happens to women. But it's also like, you don't gotta do a whole thing about it, bro. You don't gotta pontificate on it or whatever. And then there's gotta be like a moment of like physical description where you go over the body, right? And this is kind of that moment with Asa, you know, turning her, you know, taking her clothes off, turning her clothes into a sword. It's like a moment where Fujimoto could have done that. He could have did that. He could have did the dude thing and be like, boom, your tits, crotch, ass, feet. Because he would put the fucking feet in there, you know? He would do that shit. He would if he was gonna do it, there'd be feet, alright? That's how you know he wasn't full-on horny drawing there, because we didn't see Asa's feet, bro. If Fujimoto was gonna do a horny illustration of Asa, there would have been feet. That's all I'm saying. Alright? Ultimate proof that this was not a horny panel. Boom, that's a tweet, dude. I'm tweeting that. Tweeting that tomorrow. It's gonna be sick. Right, so in Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto is building this perspective as with denji. He's developing this perspective from like a male perspective of like how empathizing with women goes, what that connection does, and how it develops the relationships there. And it's not always good. It's not like you just do it and everything goes great for you, but you do it and the relationship is meaningful, and the relationship is consensual, and the relationship is what would I call this? Humanizing, right? It's a real connection. It's not domination. It's not ownership. It's not objectifying. It is the opposite of objectifying, which I don't know the word for. Humanizing. It's humanizing. It's a humanizing relationship. There we go. Man, our discourse around feminism is so bad, dude. We don't even have the opposite of objectification in like Carmen parlance. It's so bad. But this is a great thing. I want to point out that what Fujimoto does here is something really significant for feminism that gets overlooked, that gets sort of sidelined a lot. And for obvious reasons, I mean, most dudes are they're not with it, dude. They don't like it. They're opposed. Like feminism, ooh, right? They have their patriarchal, misogynistic feminism model of women in their mind, and so these women-led versions of feminism, or you know, they don't like. No, I dominate, objectify, control. That's what I want to do. Right? And there's some brainwashing in that too, but they're also just dumb motherfuckers. It's just fucking lonely losers who don't think that much. Right? They're dumb. They're stupid. People are stupid. Right? It is what it is. And they're also socialized in this way. Right? And they have their own problems with the masculinity that they have. Their concept of themselves as men is fucked up too. So it's all fucked up. Gender studies, la-da-da, toxic masculinity, blah blah blah, etc. But usually in the discussion of like toxic masculinity, there's no feminism. It's like we need to reconsider our identity as men so that it's good instead of bad. But that sort of ignores the fact that the bad thing about, yeah, there's some ways that like the toxic masculinity stuff impacts dudes, and it sucks for dudes, and it causes a problem for dudes. But like mostly, well, the direction of this stuff is mostly from men to women. It's not dudes mostly cause problems for women. Other dudes, it's kind of chilling unless, you know, you're a simp, like me, a feminist, in in other terms. And so in these discussions, like these like feminist-minded discussions of masculinity, there's not really a feminism developed. It's still very much like we're gonna protect women. Things don't really change in the feminism of patriarchy. It's still very much, okay, we're all gonna be strong dudes who are buff or whatever, and you know, good dads and stuff. But we're also gonna be nice to women. Which is like, okay, I get it, I guess. But Fujimoto's doing something else. He's presenting feminism from a male perspective. He's building a male feminism. A you know, understanding of women which is rooted in empathy with them, while also maintaining that empathy with the man inside, who is a horny little fucker. So it's an empathetic perspective of men that is also empathetic towards women, and through the masculinity empathizes with the femininity, and that's where you get a male feminism, which is something that you don't get a lot of. It's one of the things that makes his work, you know, this work and all of his works, feel so fresh. Feel so fresh in terms of the relationships between the characters, the kind of male characters that are in the stories, and the perspective on women they bring, and the perspective on women that this story presents. And it's one of the reasons Fujimoto can get away with it. Because women reading the story, they can just tell. You just sense it. I mean, he's just doing it. I can sense it too. Everybody fucking senses it. It's right there in the work. If you're there reading Chainsaw Man and you're like, oh bro, Fujimoto's horny posting on God. He's not. And of course, there's the ultimate QED, which is that if Fujimoto's horny posting, there would be way more feet in Chainsaw Man. And there are not. We all fucking know it. Don't pretend like we don't. We know. We know Fujimoto. Everybody fucking knows. Alright, it's obvious, brother. I'm joking. Or am I? And so let's get to why you should read Shojo as a dude. And of course, I said it so many times already in this video in the first half. number one reason you should read Shojo as a person who enjoys comics is because the comics are good. It's good storytelling. The really good ones, use the medium. The great effect is it's an extremely particular usage of the medium too. Shojo, artistically speaking, has developed its own style. I know some people say, well, there's lots of different rendering styles in Shojo, but I'm talking about the paneling, the usage of different techniques. Shojo has so many that it is really perfected. What I'll call weak paneling, angular paneling, embedded paneling, which Fujimoto uses all the time. A lot of the really bam, crazy cool scenes that he does are paneled like shoujo panels. like big moments where the border of the page disappears. They happen in shonen to a degree, but really the border is still kind of present. It's just like a panel has been blown up to a full page. But Fujimoto, there's a ton of pages where you sense the scene expanding off the page. The page is broken, the panel is broken. Shojo breaks panels all the time. That's all it fucking does. It's just hot dudes looming over you, looking at you with a little girl down in the corner going, oh, gas, dude. Right? The panel is gone. It's just, the panel doesn't matter. The dude is all that matters. A hot dude, that's what it's about. Fuck this panel shit. Get the fucking panels out of here. More hot dude. Right, and then there's the screen tones. Fujimoto doesn't use screen tones as much. He's more kind of solid blacks and hash shading. He uses hash shading a lot. Just like, bro, you're killing yourself, dude. Please stop hash shading everything. You're gonna die, alright? Take a break, brother. But he loves the hashes on. He can't stop, and it looks amazing, right? It's incredibly impressive artwork, of course. But shoujo has its really own semiotics, as you call it, semiotics of the medium. Screen prints, of course, the flowers, part of it, patterned backgrounds play a bigger part, and all of this is to use, because shonen is really using the medium to convey events, right? It's like the battle shonen is the archetype of the shonen, right? And battle shonen is all about what happens. Who wins the fight? Who is stronger? How are they going to get stronger? What does the name of the ability? What does it look like? What does it do? It's events. It's things that occur. Shoujo, right? And so, let me not lose the train there. So for shonen, the rendering is all about, rendering things to occur, drawing backgrounds, illustrating character designs, sound effects, conveying motion, expressing position in 3D space, right? These are all key elements of the artwork in shonen, but in shoujo, it's something else. It is way more abstract. Because the goal, again, is to create empathy with the characters. And so you need to use the visual medium to convey emotion. And so these artists are using black and white, by the way, still black and white ink ink, fucking black ink. They're using black ink to create abstract renderings of emotional states. It's crazy. That is so insane to think about. How? Like, it's incredibly impressive. The amount of emotion that gets put into pages and panels and backgrounds in Shojo is just, I mean, the good stuff. There's bad stuff too. Of course, there's fucking shitty ones where it doesn't really work. It doesn't hit because they don't do it right. Yeah. Everybody's good at it. It's really fucking hard. But the people who are really good at it, it's incredible. There's nothing like it. Really, there is almost nothing else like it. It is so singular as a semiotic form. The closest thing to it is like abstract art. But abstract art, you like most of the time is drenched in color. Like you gotta be fucking popping off with colors to do abstract art. Abstract art, of course, is about not rendering things, about this like emotional aesthetic connection between the artist and the piece, and through the piece there's a connection between the artist and the observer, and it's this sort of like bridge of emotional connection, aesthetic sense that people interact with, and color is like a mainstay of abstract art. Shojo is black and white, man. How? Fucking how? But they do it. Of course, there's the characters. They get to use characters and text as well. Manga gets to cheat a little bit, right? There's not just a screen tone. But those abstract elements, the screen tones, the patterns, the abstract, what do I want to call them? Figures, like circles or spirals or weird kind of like twisty things, or I don't know what to call it. Flowers, of course, are a big one, big imagery, different abstract images that appear. These things, right, they're all done without color, and it's incredible. To be back now. We're back now. Okay. The art, of course, is incredible. I dropped the stream a little bit there. It's gonna be 2 parts. Fuck me. Alright. The art in Shojo is, of course, incredible. As I just fucking went on and on and on and on about, of course. Art's incredible. The good ones have good stories. The bad ones have kind of lame stories. It's just storytelling. It is what it is. Right? Read the good ones. You don't have to read the bad ones. I'm not telling you to read bad shoujo. You don't have to read that. Fuck that. They suck. Alright? Colleen is on it, alright? She's reading all this shit because she's trying to do recommendations. And so, she slogs through the mid. And honestly, she gasses the mid too much. Because she has an agenda. She has the shoujo agenda, which I support the shoujo agenda. Fuck yeah, Coleen. Read all those kind of boring shoujo. Pump that shit. Gas that shit. Let's fucking go. Because, there are just great ones. Really, really great series running now. Every season, there are fucking different shoujo popping off that are amazing. And you should read them because of how good they are. But there's another point here. And here I'm going to go big face for this, alright? You should read shoujo so you can pull some bitches. Yeah, you should read Shojo, dudes, so you could pull some bitches. And this isn't like opposition research. You know, some stupid shit like that, some stupid alpha brain shit like, you gotta understand what the woman wants. She wants you to be a hot dude. No. You should read Shojo because when you interact with it, it helps you develop empathy. It shows you the struggles, successes, failures, in conclusion of building an empathetic, humanizing relationship between a man and a woman, which is what women want from you. That's what they want. Right? Yeah, the dudes are hot, okay, but they're also fucking anime. No fucking Shojo fan thinks you're gonna look like an anime character. Human beings don't look like that, actually. Recently, the characters in Shojo have gotten less idealized and more grounded, and it pissed me off because now they just look like normal hot dudes. They're normal hot Asian guys, and yeah, that's a L. That's a huge L for living human being men. But it is what it is, alright? Hot Asian men also exist. And yeah. If you are a woman out there, you might be able to date a hot Asian guy. It is possible. Especially if you are in Asia. You know, possibilities are endless. There's plenty of them. And a lot of them have really low self-esteem too. Because the dudes have horrible self-esteem, alright? Just compliment him one time and it's GG. It's over. So you read Shojo not just to understand, like, intellectually. You're not gonna fucking crack the code. Empathize with the female main character to learn about empathizing with women. And then you can learn. You can understand. And this all comes back to my major point, which is let things affect you. And if you as a man let Shojo affect you, you will get feminized in a way similar to how Fujimoto has apparently been through his artwork. And then you will have an understanding of relationships with women and developing relationships with women that appeals to women. And also is good as a human being because you can empathize with 55% of people, instead of having no fucking concept of how to empathize with half the humans on the planet. Like fucking weirdo loser. Alright? So instead, read some fucking Shojo. Let it affect you. Let the work affect you. Let it, change you emotionally. Feel the emotions. Get gay for the hot dude. Alright? Get gay for the hot dude. You know what it is. Think of him as cool homie. Think, damn, this guy's kind of cool. Damn, bro, that shit's sad. You know what I mean? I feel for you, bro. You don't have to want to fuck him, but go through the empathetic process. Go through the empathetic process that Shojo takes you through. That makes you a better person because it makes you more empathetic. It makes you understand the kind of connection that appeals to women, and it can help you make better connections with women, like Fujimoto is showing you how to do through denji. So Fujimoto gives you a model of this in Chainsaw Man and all these other works too. Like, it's all fucking over this entire library. But there's this whole world of works written by women. You don't have to fucking wait for a dude to explain it to you. Fujimoto, I mean, he's not like mansplaining with Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is not mansplaining feminism or some stupid shit that I'm sure someone could twist this take into. but it's a male version of what is it's just fucking in shoujo, dude. So if you can, you know, get your brain a little bit girlier and empathize with the main character somewhat to a degree, then you can get the same thing. You can, you know, develop an understanding of women that is humanizing, not dehumanizing. That is personal, not objectifying. That is equal, not dominant. That is consensual, not, well, the other one. Not assault, all right? Yeah, consent instead of assault. How about that? You can learn to be this way through these works. You can change your mind through art. Get a little gay, right? Or a lot gay. You just be gay. I don't know who you are. Become bisexual. I don't know. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Who knows? If you do, it's awesome. All right, and that's going to be my final point of the night. Read Shojo to become a more empathetic person. This is why you should read Shojo. Not because it helps you understand women. Not just because it is really good art, which it is, which is the number one reason you should read it, because it's just super good. Read some good Shojo because of how good they are. I have to wait until this fucking scuffed part. I'm just fucking straight skipping this. You should read Shojo, become a more empathetic person. Women out there too. If you're reading Shojo and you have a struggle with empathy, read some Shojo, right? I mean, read some Shojo. It's great. It's amazing. It's so fucking good. And dudes should definitely read the Shojo, because men do not get socialized with any ability to be empathetic, especially towards women. And Shojo will show you fucking how. It will show you exactly what empathy looks like and the kind of empathetic treatment that women want, and the kind of connections based on empathy that, you know, make you a hot Shojo hero instead of a creepy Shojo villain. There you go. And of course, if you're a dude and Shojo just doesn't click for you because all the main characters are women and you just don't fucking get it because you're, I don't know, your brain is too broken to ever have empathy for a woman at this point, just read Chainsaw Man and think like Denji. Understand the Denji's point of view, right? Because Fujimoto gives you a little guidance. And then once you go through that and you appreciate Chainsaw Man, go into Shojo and maybe it'll help you make that transition. That's my final thought of the night. Read Shojo. Shojo is good. You don't read Shojo. If you hate on Shojo, you suck. You're a loser. Your opinion is shit. And you need to shut the fuck up. Thank you everyone for stopping by. My announcement of the stream was way too late. Not really a pop-off tonight, but I bet this one will get a little more traction after the fact. Like anime fans, ooh, they love feminism. Let me tell you. So we'll see what the comment section looks like in a few days. This is a brand new channel. This is week 3 of, I don't know how fucking many weeks it's gonna go on. It's week 3 of some number. And, you know. So, more than likely, no one's gonna fucking give a shit, but I'm gonna put some, I think I've got some spicy shorts coming out of this stream. Stay tuned for those, or YouTube shorts enjoyers who like to wear short pants. Stay tuned for those. Tune in next time where, I don't know what we're gonna talk about next, but I don't know. There's way too much shit to talk about in Chainsaw Man. I can't fucking like, there's no shot I cannot rant for 90 minutes about Chainsaw Man at any time. So we'll get around to it. Probably gonna focus back in on the anime instead of the comic. Man, I have so much to say about episode 3, but I really wanted to hit on the comic because shoosh, it's popping off, and you should read Chainsaw Man even if you are currently an anime only. Don't fucking worry about the spoilers or anything. Just read it. Read it, sorry. Shut up. Don't be anime only. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time, and have a great evening, rest of your morning, here, there, wherever you are. Goodbye.